My name is Algimantas. I live in a small East European country in Lietuva. This is Lithuania in English, but it's not correct. My country is called, even in English, Lietuva. Try to remember this word. Lithuania is the place that spiritual light is spreading from to the whole of humanity. I represent Creator as Creator's ambassador and apostle of Master Creator's Son, who has bestowed himself as Jesus of Nazareth on our planet 2,000 years ago, and his partner, Creator daughter Nebuchadnezzar. So I represent these personalities as their envoy to this planet. I present spiritual teachings, including the current one, in both my native tongue, Lithuanian, and in a foreign language, English. So of course, there is a great difference between the two variants, because the teachings I present in my native tongue, I do it during the worship service in the living temple of Creator. The Paradise Trinity I Am living temple. As I was asked by Creator, by Jesus, to set up the living temple and the religion of revelation. And neither the temple nor the religion has anything to do with the currently existing churches or religions on our planet. The religion I was asked by Creator, by the Paradise Trinity I Am, to set up is the reality religion of Creator. And it is throughout the whole of creation. When collective worship of Creator is going on every planet inhabited either by souls, mortals, or spirits, as there are many different worlds, different planets inhabited by life, created by Creator himself, or through his daughters and sons. We are the lowest order of life. We are still possessing the material outer form that humans call a human body. But it is not the life that was bestowed upon us, each of us, by Creator. Our living essence is what is within this living, visible, material outer form, within this human body. The body is not the life order. It's only the vehicle for this life order within this body to do good deeds. Just remember, Good deeds, not bad deeds. The deeds of evil come from the evil one, from Satan, from Lucifer, from our former spiritual leader of the planet, Caligastia. Currently, they are not in existence anymore, but their impact has been passed through generations up to this present generation. That's why wars, different vices are still enveloping this inner dweller, and even oppressing this dweller by the human intellect of the animal origin intellect. Meanwhile, the true dweller within this body should use the mind bestowed upon this dweller by Creator himself, divine mind, with wisdom, cosmic insight, love, justice, mercy, goodness, beauty, patience, brotherhood, friendship, cooperation instead of competition. So all this is deeply, slumbering in a deep, deep sleep. That's unfortunate. But I'm the one to do my best to train spiritual teachers who would help Creator wake up humanity to reality, wake up to Creator, not to different legends and fairy tales about Creator. Well, I have plenty of books here. I'll show you this bunch of books on my desk. So I'll tell you that Creator is truly a person and personality without any form, invisible, but it is possible to experience Him within, with your opened and sincere heart. Therefore, first of all, you should study this book. I show you this book every time I speak of my spiritual teaching. The Urantia book. This book is a much broader disclosure of reality and of Creator himself, of Jesus, of a human being, and of the origin of our planet, and even of the whole of creation, of the myriads of different Creator sons and daughters. Therefore, when Christianity is claiming that Jesus was the only son of the Father, it's not correct. There are myriads upon myriads of Creator's sons and daughters. Study this book. I translated this book from English into Lithuanian. So this is the Lithuanian version. Urantijos knyga. I received teachings from Creator, from Jesus, from his partner Nebuchadnezzar, and published them. So the first book I published, that was the book I received from Jesus Christ, I speak to you again. This is already the second edition with a supplement. I translated this book into English. I speak to you again. Jesus Christ studied this book. This book is also available in Russian. Говорю вам опять. This is the first volume of teachings, revelations I received from the Father, from Creator. Akimirkos amžinybė. It's in my native tongue only. By the way, it's also available in Russian, only online. It's eternity of a blink. Just imagine, eternity of a blink, not a blink of eternity, but eternity of a blink. The title has been offered to me by the Father, and he was joking. You are accustomed to saying a blink of eternity, but I'll give you just this title, eternity of a blink. And he explained to me, once you open your heart to a Creator, to the Father, or to the Paradise Trinity I am, the four persons and personalities making up Creator, one Creator. So in this case, you are elevated and attracted to Creator through your superconsciousness, because in your living communion, the true and real channel of your communication with Creator is your superconsciousness, not even subconsciousness or even consciousness. And in this moment, you are in eternity, because Creator is the source and center of eternity. So you are attracted and raised above all your material life, and even beyond the planet itself. So that's why this worship moment, this blink of worship, turns into eternity. That's why. This book is titled, Eternity of a Blink. So, the second volume of Creator's teachings, revelations I received in the course of, over 20 years. Also in my native tongue, the living silence. The living silence, because you commune with Creator out of your heart in silence. And this silence turns into a living communion with Creator. in silence. And then you begin to hear Creator. Because each of you has Creator Spirit, thought adjuster. And He adjusts your thoughts into normal and right, correct sequence out of your messy thoughts within you. The third volume of Creator's teachings, the Love Might. It's also in my native tongue, so I'm translating it on the spot. It might be translated as the power of love, the might of love. Because love is the greatest power beyond any atomic bomb. It's more powerful than your weapons, which can kill only your outer form, this visible material form. But remember, I told you, you are not this outer form. You are the inner dweller of this form, a spiritual personality. And the spiritual personality is the eternal gift by Creator Himself. It's eternal. Therefore, Jesus was warning, take care of your soul. Don't be afraid of losing your life, but be scared to lose your soul. That's the essence. This outer form is important for doing good deeds, not bad, not evil deeds, good deeds. But the essence is you should take care of your inner dweller within this body, your spiritual personality. That is resurrected after this body runs out of Creator's energy in the soul identity to continue spiritual education, just to go on and on until the spiritual personality reaches Creator Himself on Paradise, which is the geographic center of the whole of creation, and stands in the immediate presence of Creator Himself without any outer form, but by energy vibrations recognizes Creator is right before him. And volume 4 of Creator's teachings, revelations, also in my native tongue, freshly published. You are within. You are within. It's a very deep meaning of the title. You are within. It says that Creator is telling me while giving me these revelations, these teachings. You are within. That is, I am within Creator, and you are within Creator. And as I received these revelations of Creator, and I wrote this title of the Revelation book, I also opened up my heart, my spiritual personality to Creator, while even receiving these revelations from Creator. So my superconsciousness was in this living communion with Creator, so that I started feeling Creator ever deeper within. And I claim, you are within, on my part and on my side. You are within. So like it's a two-way traffic. You are within. One-way Creator is stating the fact. And I also state the fact that Creator is within, because I feel His vibrations, His living water, His living bread. And just last week, I received this published book in my native tongue, The Shreds of Christianity. Christianity as the mother religion has stopped its existence, well, long ago. It has split into thousands upon thousands of different sects. The Catholic sect is also not the religion of Christianity. It's only a part, even though a significant part of Christianity religion, but it's a sect. They use, either an Orthodox Russian church or Catholic church or different other sects like Mormon, like different Protestant churches, Anglican church. They are sects. They never claim to be the Anglican religion. They might call the Anglican church, the Catholic church, the Catholic belief, but not the religion. What led me to these books, or I might even say, who led me to these books? Well, of course, it's Creator from within, through the operation of His Spirit, my thought adjuster. But He was not presenting me teachings at that time that I would hear. Of course, He was giving the teachings to my superconsciousness, but I have no any idea about God apart from the Catholic tradition. As I lived in a small city in the neighborhood of the Catholic Church. So my grandmom would take me to church, and especially to the funerals, that the funeral procession was passing by our house. At that time, processions were common in our small city. And she was just urging me, dress up in a clean dress, and let's go and pay the last tribute to the deceased. So if we didn't manage to join the procession, so then we would hurry to the church just to attend the Mass and follow the coffin going to the churchyard, to the graveyard, which is right next to the church. So those were the Catholic traditions I was taught by my grandma, but they were boring to me. The Christ I saw, the crucifix in the church, scared me. I didn't want to look at the bloody wounds. It's a very bad impression I received from the crucifix. So that's why I revolted against my grandma. I said, there is no God because I don't see him anywhere. And she was in tears, and she was telling me, stop talking this blasphemy. God will punish you. I was demanding, show me your God. God, where is the God? He was saying it's in reality. But when I was growing, already being a teenager, I was thinking, how come there is only one planet with humans? It cannot be just one planet inhabited by humans in such an enormous space. When I raise up my eyes, I see a lot of space. Why there is only one planet with humans? It's ridiculous for my teenager's mind. It cannot be reality. And after some time, a thought would spring into my mind. I will never pass away. I'll never pass away. It's impossible. I might pass away. So these were, well, accidental, I would say, thoughts at that time. But I now perfectly well know they were not accidental. They were the thoughts passed to me by my thought adjuster, Creator Spirit within my mind, who is also operating within your mind as well. And it is true. I will never pass away. Because spiritual personality is a gift of the source and center of eternity. And everything Creator is bestowing upon anything or anyone is also eternal. I began my conscious search for some higher without even having a true understanding. What is this higher? What might it be? When I was working in radio and television company, I was well-known political analyst, and I got interested in Sai Baba's teachings. That's also a divine son incarnated in the human material form, outer form. Now he has completed the second part of his mission, but he was talking about the third part of his mission. Then I thought about studying this book, Bhagavad Gita. That was my next spiritual source I studied. After this, the Holy Bible, only I read it in my native tongue. That was another step of my spiritual education. As there were many Mormon young people in Vilnius walking on the streets in sometimes groups of 4, but mostly in pairs. They were stopping passers-by and asking whether or not they believe in Jesus. So for the first time, I came across the Mormon book. And later, I studied this book. So, Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, as well as Pearl of Great Price. Still later, I studied Quran in Russian, its translation. Some Arabs claim that Quran is only the true one in Arabic, but I cannot read and speak Arabic. I studied the life of the Prophet Muhammad. So, now I say, when I have the experience of my spiritual living path, since I started already my public classes with people, and there would come some 500 people in Vilnius, capital of Lithuania, where I lived, in Kaunas, the second largest city of Lithuania, also some 500 people in the hall. In other cities of Lithuania, I traveled to the United States several times to attend the Urantia Book Students conferences. So I was speaking out the living word of Creator on the streets of Denver, Colorado, San Francisco, Los Angeles, California, Salt Lake City. By the way, in the Salt Lake City, I was nearly arrested by the police on the street, standing next to the church of Mormons. Early in the morning, when people would come in nice clothes for the morning mass, and I was standing with the Urantia book in English and and stopping the people, trying to attract their attention to this book about Jesus, as they also believe in Jesus in their way, even though they have their own Book of Mormon and the revelations of their prophet Joseph the Junior. So was doing my best to attract their attention, and one believer rushed out of the church and said, "I will call the police because you are standing on a private property." I was standing, to my understanding, on the sidewalk. I said, "How should I know it's the private property?" And he led me to a certain material sign where it was written that this territory is under the care of Mormon Church. But it didn't claim it's their private property. But I started speaking out my living word I was receiving from Creator. And he was so interested in what I was telling him that his wife rushed out of the church to find out where her husband disappeared. So that guy, instead of calling the police, well, shook my hand and said, that's interesting. So I know from my spiritual life that the current situation on our planet is against Creator's will in all the countries. Therefore, I do my best to speak out the living word of Creator, to attract people's attention to true and the real source, Creator, within. That is, open up your heart to Creator and address Him in your simple but sincere words, and you will begin to feel peace, tranquility within you. The outer world has no peace. People who even claim they are doing good and for the benefit of their nation, in reality, they do everything against Creator's will, against Jesus' will, against Muhammad's will. I continue the mission of Jesus, the mission of Sai Baba, the mission of Muhammad, the mission of Moses, of Abraham. I continue Creator's mission conferred on me to enlighten humanity, to enlighten by expanding their outlook on reality, on themselves, on Creator, on Muhammad, on Sai Baba, on Jesus, on Buddha. I do desire to speak out my living word to students in different educational institutions, because they are being misled by their teachers, and they are young. They are the future of politics, economy, interrelations in this humanity, split into different religious sects and different approaches to this very same creator. That's why young people who are the future politicians, doctors, teachers, they need a broader thinking, a broader outlook. Meanwhile, now they're being suppressed into a mechanical and robotic way of thinking through different computer games, different so-called artificial intellect. There is no artificial intellect. Do not believe in such people like Trump or Musk claiming about artificial intellect. Man cannot create any intellect. Intellect is the bestowal by Creator himself upon beasts, animals, upon spiritual personalities. That is us, humans. It is impossible to create an artificial intellect. You can make a certain program to accumulate different data, but that's not the intellect. That's the machine you are programming, and it is capable of processing an enormous amount of different information and give you a certain generalization, a certain conclusion. But all the same, it's programmed by humans, by their intellect, by their accumulated knowledge and experience. So where is that artificial intellect? To create an artificial intellect, you should be above what you do desire to create. But you are not the source. The source is Creator. Man cannot create a single atom. It can, as a being, man can only reproduce the highest of the highest, somebody of his own. And even in this case, he needs a representative of the opposite sex, not being alone. So stop confusing students and young people. And what you are making now, it's not the artificial intellect. It's your compressed data by using different material means. But it's not yet the problem how you call this this artificial product, but not the intellect, but the ultimate product. Whether it is a robot operating in a plant or providing some services in a restaurant or anywhere else. The problem is that you don't care for your souls. You don't care for your spiritual personality. Your attention paid is totally to the material outcome, to the material result, without even knowing further beyond what consequences it will bring to humanity. Why is it so? Because currently, stupidity is dominating politics, economy, and finances. And of course, educational system, stupidity. Creator has designed evolution, and evolution is the leaving the planet order in a brighter light than it has been received from the past generation, in a brighter light and order. And what does it mean? If there was some conflict, it should be turned into brotherhood, cooperation. If there were tears, you should leave one passing away from this planet only as your body passes away. So you should leave a better environment, a more friendly relationship within humanity, less conflicting. How to achieve it? You have to discover Creator within, because Creator has bestowed His Spirit upon each of you, and His Spirit, the thought adjuster, indwells the mind of each of you. So Creator, once discovered within, is being experienced, and Creator begins to operate through His Spirit within your mind and gives you revelations, gives you higher thoughts, higher ideals, and higher goals. So only in this case, you might put everything in order out of this mess in politics, economy, education, family life, interrelationships among people in humanity. Listen to my words with your open heart, rather than being so hasty and too hasty to deny what you hear. Ultimately, I know brotherhood shall dominate on this planet as it is dominating on other planets, because this is the evolutionary plan of Creator Himself, that brotherhood would embrace all humanity under one creator in 4 persons and personalities. The Paradise Trinity, I am. So I embrace you all in Creator's name, in Jesus' name, in his partner's, Creator daughter's name,